All right, quickly attendance. All right. So I hope you guys are having yourself a great morning. I know I'm busy all morning already, working on this, working on that, always doing things, you know. But now that we got that, let's go ahead and get to the course syllabus. Not really syllabus, but let's get to the schedule of activities. All right, so on Tuesday we worked on 1, 2, right? So we completed that, and you were responsible for completing the quiz as well as making sure that you completed 1, 2, of course. But the learning objectives that you get from the PI, they come about in such familiar, in such, an elusive way. I mean, like some of you are like into 1, 6 already. And that means you already bypassed 1, 2, and 1, 1, 1. Maybe there's perhaps those concepts that you like. Now, there are ways, I mean, at least there was in the past, and I'm going to try to find it right now. But there's ways you can review things if you've already passed like 1, 1, and 1, 2, and you would like to have a review of 1, 1 or something like that, and you want to do that. If you go into Alex, under assignments, I'm not a student, so it's tough for me sometimes going about sharing this with you. But if you go ahead and hit your 3 lines, I might have to have somebody sign in for me as a student. But if somebody who would be willing to volunteer, if somebody could sign in for me as a student, I can walk them through, because it's there. I'm trying to think, because for the students, they have these 3 lines, and it's the hamburger they call it. But then you open up to your assignments, and under assignments, it's not so much as assignments that we go to, but you can review old concepts. And see, for me, I can't see that, unfortunately. Is there anybody willing to sign in for me, so I can see what? All right, McKinley, good. Would you? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, McKinley, I'm going to show you how to go about sharing your screen. So under here, you go ahead and just share your screen. I've got to make you a presenter first, so I'm going to go ahead and have you. I'm going to lower your hand now because you're just volunteering. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, make as a presenter, and McKinley, you're going to go ahead and share with everybody your screen. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and then you share your screen.
Hold on. I'm on the thing for it, but it said nothing is shared.
Go ahead and try that again. Like, go to that box. I mean, share screen. Hit the screen or whatever. Don't. You'll figure it out.
Well, I know that what it was on Tuesday because it showed up. It says that only presenters and moderators may share content.
Did I? Oh, then that means I accidentally made somebody else presenter. Sorry, I did. Let me. Hold on. All right, yeah, I did. Sorry, McKinley. It must have bounced on me. All right, now you can go ahead and share.
Okay. Do I do the share whiteboard or share the application screen, right?
Yeah, share application screen. Yeah.
And then just the application window, so it doesn't do that.
No, no. Go ahead and just share the screen. It doesn't care. I don't care about the echo. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and just once we get into the application, then it'll just disappear.
Okay.
Okay, so go into Blackboard, Alex. Okay, so now go to the 3 lines. Yeah, go there. And let me see what else is available to you. See where it says Learn?
Yeah.
Go ahead and click on there. I want to see something. All right, now, see, let me see here. Now it says choose metrics. Okay, hit that little arrow down there. Let's see what happens.
Is the topics.
Yeah, the topics. See now, these are the things that you can do to balance. See how it says lesson 1415.
Yeah.
Click on there for a second, and you can select which one you want to go over. Like, you can go up on it,
Mhm.
and then you could select different lessons that you already covered. Like, go to 1-1, go up in the top, McKinley, and then hit on 1-1. Yeah, there you go. It says you have learned all the topics, objectives. Okay, so now update the filter to review topics of this. So it says update your filters to, yeah, so filters, yeah, see how you can update the filters to change that you could be able to see all those different
Mhm.
review the topics. And that's what I wanted to share everybody, because the biggest question I had from students, right, was, Mr. D, I've already completed 1-1. How do I review the topics? And here it looks like by review or by editing the filters, you can go ahead and see those topics. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out. It's under Learn, and now that this is being recorded, everybody can review how to go about. If you wish to go back to 1-1 and review, you can do that. All right. Are there any questions on that? Thank you, McKinley.
Mhm.
I mean, you can exit now. You're the best. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and take ownership over that. McKinley, I'm going to remove you from being a presenter. You don't have to do that. Make you a participant
Okay.
again. And you can also, if you, unless you have something to say, you can go ahead and mute your mic for a little bit. And if you have anything, let me know. Okay, so now that we've covered that, that was a big topic discussion that I had students who, they're like, Mr. D, I really need to know how to go back. And now you do. All right, so that was a good little lesson. And I couldn't show you that on my end as a teacher because obviously I don't have that feature. Like I don't have Learn. I mean, because I'm not a student. So I don't even have anywhere that available for mine. Yeah, see, I don't have any of that. So anyway, thank you, McKinley. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go over, like I said, covering the topics. We're going to go over 1-4. All right. So 1-4, I'm using the static. It's unavailable to you guys. But let me try and preview that. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and talk about a little bit about the topic. I am very passionate about this topic. All right. I started talking to you a little bit about it on Tuesday. All right. Um, can somebody type to Maria, just go ahead and restart your Alex, or restart your Blackboard Collaborate. Everybody else is able to hear me, right? I hope. Um, so just, it looks like we're having problems. Yeah, all right. Thank you, Sierra. Appreciate that. All right, now, let me go ahead. Now, 1-4 is a topic about, says avoiding your empty pockets or avoiding empty pockets. Now, financing is very, very important. We talked about saving money on Tuesday. We talked about like debits and credits, about that. You know, as a young person, I worked very hard on saving money when I was a young kid, and because I believed that I wasn't going to amount to college or anything, so I thought I needed to save every single little penny I ever earned. So what I've done, when I was a kid, and I make aggressive at it, I'm aggressive about it today even, is that I used the strategies of inputting or putting a lot of my money into stocks and managing my funds inside of secure accounts. And what I did was I utilized indirectly, and I didn't even know it, I was utilizing this concept of interest. The bank, for example, you can invest in what's called a CD, a certificate of deposit, and they offer you not just simple interest, but compounded interest. And that's what we're going to learn about today. You want your money to work for you, all right? And there's a difference between compounded and simple interest. So here's the idea about the difference between it. And let me go ahead and talk about it a little bit. Now, when you're dealing with simple interest, right? Simple. What happens is, let's say I deposited $1,000 into an account, right? Well, if I go ahead and deposit it for 6 years, all right, 6 years, then I would go ahead and just simply multiply the value of, oh yeah, and we got to have a percentage. We go ahead and say, okay, well, we're going to deposit it for 5 or 6 years at 5%. So the thing is that when you multiply it by 5%, you're saying, well, that is the interest that it earns over 1 year. Like, because if I go ahead and do 1,000 times 5%, which is simply just multiplying it by 0.05, that would say I'm earning, for every year that goes by, I'm going to earn $50. That's interest. And so the thing is, with simple interest, which sucks about simple interest, all you do is say, oh, well, then multiply that by 6, and you earn $300 in interest. That's all you get. Well, you're probably thinking, that's pretty good, Mr. D. I mean, taking $1,000 and earning, now $1,300. That's pretty good. My $1,000 now turns into $1,300. Now, here's the idea, though. What if you go ahead and have compounded? Now, the way compounded works is that you would agree that after the first year, you no longer have just $1,000 in your account after the first year. After the first year, you have $1,050, don't you? So why can't I earn interest on that money now? Because I've already earned it based off of the interest that I earned in the simple year. That's compounded interest, is that I'm now going to give you interest on the money earned. So now it's this times 0.05. And now I look at the difference. All right, so it's $1,050 times 0.05. And now I earn $2.50 more. All right. And then imagine this was billions of dollars, by the way. Just imagine for a second, it's the billions of dollars. That makes a difference on how it's being compounded, or how it's being interest is being accrued on it. So now you have no longer $1,050 for the second year. You have $1,102.50 after the second year, and then you do that again and again and again for how many years you're doing it. So interest of how you make money makes a difference. So the reason why I kept on going back to the idea about what we did on Tuesday was that I had a conversation with you about you really concentrating on how you are spending your money, budgeting yourself properly. All right. And nobody reached out to me about the one document that I have. I have a document. It's called John Hancock Financial Obligations or Financial Diversification or something like that, where you can itemize every single little thing you do. And young people they live day by day. All right, day by day. And if you can create good habits in all of what you're doing, and a lot of people think, oh my goodness, too young to even think about this. Well, you're never too young to start. I was 10 years old when I started. That's when I started thinking about this. And right now I'm benefiting from that. All right. I mean, right now I'm completely debt free from college And I have never needed to take a loan out for college ever since, because I worked so hard in what I did, and I never had anybody pay for my college. I never had. I did go in the military, and the military paid for my college in that regard, but I gave myself in service to my country. So the military paid 80% of my education, but that was just a benefit. Just like I'm getting a benefit from my college, helping me offset my cost of education. And that's one thing that I've always looked at as far as one of the things that how can I save myself from being incredibly in debt to education, because that's just ridiculous, the amount of money towards that. So anyway, you want to think about how you spend your money, and then how to earn money on your money. So we're talking about now being fiscally responsible, being responsible enough to manage your amount of money you're taking in, and how you're utilizing all the amount of money that you do when you work as hard as you do, and then allowing systems of habits or institutions like banks. How are they paying you? I am a strong believer in the stock market. Um, I have an app, right? I have an app, and I don't care. This is just a small account. I don't care if I show you something that's personal, but I have this one app that I use, okay, and I'm sorry about the quality of, but it's called Stash, and this right here is a pretty cool thing right here, Stash, and I use this. All right, and it's hard to see things without the glare, but anyway, I go ahead, and this is a small account I have, and so I go ahead and invest in this account, and what I do is this right here. My portfolio, a personal portfolio, is not really managed well because it's not diversified a lot. But what I've done, because I didn't want to manage it too much, is that I went ahead and went into following the professionals. Now, if I go ahead and look at my investments, right? So I can go ahead and search companies. I can do automatic um, inquiry. I can. It says diversification analysis. I'm very low. It's not diversified because I'm following experts, and experts copy the experts. I know it's hard to see, and I apologize, but copying the experts is diversifying my portfolio, because the experts are diversified. That's why I did that. But I don't know if you can read it very well, but it's not very clear. I'm going to try to autofocus this. There it is. You can see that. Look at the percentage of increase that I've gotten on this amount of money. I didn't deposit that much money into this account, by the way. I went ahead and put it in this one account, and right now it's up 25.29%. That's incredible. If you can just imagine for a moment, all right, what 25.29% is like, that's a significant amount of money. And you know what I deposited in this account? I deposited $10 a month into this account. That's how much it increased. All right. So I'm telling you, it is absolutely worth doing. All right. Can you afford $10 a month in investing? Perhaps. And that account, it continues to grow significantly. All right. And I wanted to share that with you because I think it's absolutely something you can do. All right. And that is, and you want to diversify your management of your funds. So, and that means you really want to think about investing in stocks, investing in a bank, investing in these different ideas of commodities like CDs. Those are different types of bank investments. So you can go. That's more secure because CDs are into governments. You need to go ahead and talk to a banker. And if anything I'm saying to you is interesting to you, I hope it is. I'm trying to help you become financially wealthy. That you really think about. There's an investment club at our school, which I absolutely have so much respect for. I mean, I'm not part of it because I'm too busy, but that's something that's pretty awesome. We have students who are part of the business department, and they are heavily invested in the stock market concept and creating these portfolios and managing accounts and doing all this stuff. That I think that if you have any interest in that, that you become part of a, there's no requirement. You don't have to pay money into it. You just be a part of it and can learn. You got to learn. That's the whole idea. And you know, it's unique. It's kind of interesting that I selected the whole concept of $1,000 and 5% because this is what this account was. I mean, indirectly, I was following what the book wanted. So here we have the $1,000 at 5% in simple interest. So they earn $50 every single time. All right. And I did 6 years, and you could see it would be $300 after 6 years. But here we have only 3 years, and it's $1,150 because that's how much is in the account after 3 years. All right. Whereas if you look at account two, which is the compounded interest, and that's what this means when you read up this, it's compounded interest, that you get $50 the first year, but then after that you get $52.50. And then the third year you get $55.13. And look at the difference in the account here versus here. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, Mr. D, after 3 years, only $7.63 difference is not that big of a deal. What are you making a big deal of this for? Here, let's get a reality check here. All right, this is only $1,000. All right, imagine this was $100,000. Imagine this was $1 million. All right, would you care then? I think so. All right, that makes a big difference. Okay, because now once you start, you get some multipliers going here. You're now talking about, $763 or $7,630. That's the difference in how much it makes a difference. All right, so you can't be naive on what's going on here. You have to realize that there's a big difference between these types of interest-bearing accounts, how they're calculated. So computing simple and compounded interest makes the difference. Now, there's a strategy, right? I'm going to go ahead. The formulas for these, right, on page 170 and 173. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you the compounded interest and simple interest formulas for this. So if I go ahead and go to page 170, here's 49, right? And I go to page 170, then look at what we have here. Computing future values using simple interest. Here's the formula that you need. Write that down. So A equals P plus PRT. All right. Make sure you got that one down. This is being recorded, so if you need that. Here's the next one. All right. If you didn't copy it down, then let me know. Just raise your hand. I'll go back to it. But here's the next one. Is computing future value using compounded interest. And it's A equals P, open parenthesis, 1 plus R, raised to the T power. I'm going to go over what these variables mean now to you. Now that you got those, I have them in my mind. I know what they are. I've been doing this quite a few times, right? So I know what they are. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give a scenario. All right. I'm going to, matter of fact, actually go back to page 170, and I'm going to give a couple problems from that 173. All right. Here's the principal value. P equals, in this case, I'm doing it on page 173, is $10,000. And the T value, the time, is, oh my goodness, 40 years. and the rate is 0.06. All right. All right, $10,000 seems, all right, that's okay. I mean, 40 years is a long time, by the way. That's a really long time to be in an investment. But if you think about it, if you can imagine, you saved up this amount of money, or you inherited some money or something like that, and you're a young person and you have no reason to go ahead and use this money to financially impact you. Look at what will happen if you just simply put it into a very secure, because this is only 6%. You just saw me show to you, and I showed to you 25.06%. That is a percentage value that's only possible when you're in the market, when you're in the stock markets. That's why this is very secure at 6%. At 40 years and stuff. So this is those CDs. You're not even going to see this higher percentage in banks. Banks are just ridiculous. That's why you don't go that direction. Banks are horrible in their percentage. So you got to ask the banks, what's the highest yielding CDs or anything else you can give me. So anyway, you're going to go ahead and look at this. And if I'm compounding this in simple interest, I would use P. Excuse me, I would first of all, the amount in the account is P plus PRT. All right, so now I got to go ahead and say the amount in the account is going to be the $10,000, because I don't lose the $10,000, right? Plus the amount of interest that I've earned in that time, which is 10,000 times, and I'm going to put a little dot for multiplication, times, and then I'm going to do rate at 6%. I'm going to put the 6% sign in here, and then do it at 40. And this is kind of falling off the page there. All right, 40. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my calculator now. All right, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So grab your trusted old calculator and do 10,000. All right, I need 10,000. There you go, a little bit better. 10,000 plus 10,000 times 6%. Now I'm going to use the percent key in this calculator. So I use shift and then open parentheses, the percent sign right above it. And then I do times 40. You know what? Over that time, like I said, over 40 years, all right, that is $34,000 that would be in that account. All right. Now that is awesome. Okay. So I just I want to absolutely encourage you to go that direction if you can. But now this is going to be really, really trippy. Okay, so that's $34,000 that's going to be in your account after that much time. But let's see if we go ahead and compound this by, or excuse me, find the interest if it's compounded. So the amount in the account would be principal times 1 plus the rate raised to t power. All right, now let's go ahead and put that in it. It'd be 10,000 times, open parenthesis, 1 plus the percentage raised to 40th power. That's what you'll get, the difference in the formulas. All right, now I'm going over the formulas. Let's see what that looks like on here. So we talked about this being now 34,000 for this, right? So this is 34,000 if we put the amount of money in the account that way. Let's talk about if we were putting it in compounded. So it'd be 10,000, right? Got to make sure we put in our 10,000 correctly. And then open parenthesis, 1 plus 6%, close parenthesis, raised to the power. Now this is how you raise the power in this calculator. And then 40. Hit enter. Oh my goodness. By looking at the difference between how we compounded versus how we just did simple interest, it would have made a difference of this amount. So we're looking at $102,857.18. Do you care now about how we're looking at interest? I mean, because if you look at let's go ahead and subtract 34,000 from that, and you're looking at a difference of $68,857.18. I think you care now, but that's a significant amount of time. That's a lifetime, of a person. For some people, it's a lifetime, um, but most of us can live to about probably 80. So that's a drop in the bucket for, if you think about, if I was, let's say, hey, what I was when I was 18, I had $10,000 I invested in the accounts, and I did pretty good, by the way. I put my money into savings accounts, but I mostly put it into investments, and I did pretty good. So I'm not going to say how much I did, but it's pretty good. Look at this. I mean, when I was 18, now I'm 46. That would almost be like where, I mean, I'm like almost there. 40 years later, I'm almost there. All I got to do is wait another 10 more years or something like that, and I would be at that amount if I've deposited in a secure account. All right. So now I'm hopeful that this conversation really makes a big difference to you. That, oh my goodness, Mr. D, you've woke me up, because I think that this is something worth looking into. Um, and this is reality, by the way. This isn't some chump ass like, oh, this is just math class. This is reality. You have to look at banks but first of all, you have to go ahead and get money. And how are you going to get money? You don't sell drugs. You don't do anything like that. You work hard and you save your pennies. You stop buying certain things in your habits, and you modify your behaviors, and you think, okay, can I save $10 a week, or can I save even $5 a week, and then start investing that. Okay. Here it says, suppose Brian places $5,500 into an account that pays 14% interest compounded each year. Assume no withdrawals are made in the account. Follow the instructions below. Do not do any rounding. Find the amount of the account after 1 year. So this is interest compounded. So compounding isn't going to be affected if it's only in 1 year. That's not going to work, because remember, it needs the next prior year to make a difference. So we have this plus the 14%. Oh yeah, I'm plugging it all into my calculator, by the way. So I have the $5,500, and then the 1 plus the 14%, and then I'm going to raise it to the power of 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the 6270. All right. Now look at this. All I got to do is hit the back button, hit delete 2, and now I don't have to punch it all into the calculator again. So that's 71, 47, 80. And that's it. I mean, I've now taken a conversation and I've elaborated on some great content that I really hope that it made a difference to you. Some people are not as inclined to want to care about these kinds of things, and they give themselves all kinds of excuses about, oh my goodness, I don't make enough money to even think about this kind of stuff. But you'll be surprised. You don't need to make a lot of money in order to be fiscally responsible. That's the problem with our government right now. Our government's overspending more than they have, and people are just following suit. It's like the government sets a bad example for the rest of the world, or the rest of the country to follow, and it turns people's stomachs. So anyway, and also makes them in bad situations. So we're going to go ahead and continue with 9% now at 1 year. All right, and then we get 7085. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, except for now I'm just going to push back button, delete 2. And then it's 72 or 77, 22, 65. All right. Can't make it any easier than this. All right. I've now shown you how to use your calculator. How to do this. This is compounded interest. I'm not going to continue to do the same thing over and over again. You just punch it in your calculator, unless you need me to. You need me to punch it in my calculator again? Let me know. Just verbally, I'll say that all I would do is change this 6,500 to 9,000, change the 9 to 11, and then run it with the 1 and then the 2. And that's all I would have to do. All right. I really like this calculator. I hope that you are sold on this calculator. This calculator is kind of, excuse my language, badass, but it's a pretty cool calculator. Now it says the next model of sports car will cost 4.2% more than the current model. The current model is $31,000. How much will the price increase in dollars? So this is nothing more than just saying, okay, well, take the value of the car, which is right now valued at $31,000. So I take $31,000 and multiply that by 4.2%. Notice how I'm using the percent key all the time. So then the price will increase 1302. And then all you got to do is take and add that to the 31,000. So it's $32,302. And sometimes they want you to put a comma and stuff like that, but not necessary in my opinion. So this is pretty straightforward. This is all about money though, right? So it says that last year Lisa opened an investment account that's $7,500. At the end of the year, the amount of the account had decreased by 6.2%. All right, because yes, that does happen in investments. That's why people are scared. It does go down. The biggest thing is that don't ever pull out unless you're in need of that money, because the market will always have a trend of going up. So you just leave it alone even in the bad times. You don't lose the shares you've gained. That's why it's good to be in an investment account that's following the experts, because the experts are modifying their portfolios significantly, and you don't have to worry about investment in a particular stock. That's why my stash account that I showed you is not diversified, because it is diversified by following one particular entity. I'm a little smarter than the average bear, so I want to make sure I'm protecting my money. So anyway, I go ahead and look at this, and all this is the same thing. This is, okay, so you're looking at $7,500, right? And so I'm punching this in the calculator, $7,500 times the percentage of decrease, which the percentage of decrease is 6.2%. And so it is that all I do is multiply that. So how much is it decreased the amount by? It's $465. Now what you do is you take that amount and you subtract it from the 7,500, and then that'll give you your amount in the account at that point, which is then $7,035. All right, pretty straightforward. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. An item is regularly priced at $90. It is on sale for 20% off. How much is it is discounted from the regular price? So this one right here is just a matter of how much is discounted is 90 times the percentage that we're looking at. So it's discounted by $18. If it said what's the amount of the account, it would be then like what's the amount of the new price or something like that, then it would be 90 subtract 18. But I have a unique way of doing that, if that's the question, so I'm going to share that with you. This is an item is regularly priced at $85. It is on sale for 90% off the regular price. Use the Alex calculator to find the sales price. So it's talking about using the calculator. I'm using this one. So it's 95% off. that only means that you're paying 5% of the value of $85. So that's ridiculous. That means, why don't you just give it away, right? But here we're going to look at $85, and then we're going to multiply it by 5%. Not by that, 5%. All right, and then that's what we're paying for the item now. It's a real quick way of doing it. They're looking for the final sales price, find the sales price, then it's just simply, if it's 95% off, just take and subtract 95 from 100, and that's 5. And then so 5% of 85, and that's your answer. So you're looking at $4.25. Like I said, ridiculous. Like I said, why did you even bother selling the item? You're giving it away. So an item is listed at $65. If the sales tax is 3%, how much is the sales tax? So again, this isn't asking for the total price of the item, but we're looking for the sales tax, which sales tax adds to the value, but it's 65 times the 3%. You'll notice how I'm just punching it in my calculator, so it's $1.95. If it says what is the price of the item after the sales tax, then that would be adding it back. So last year, Frank opened an investment account. At the end of the year, the amount had increased by 28.5%, which is realistic in the stock market investments. So how much is the increase in the dollars? So you just take the 28.5 times the 1,500, and then end the year, you just add it back to the 1,500. And we already did something like that. All right, the price of the item has been reduced by 45%. The original price was $77. So you just take, this is how, again, you do it, right? Whatever the percentage is, you take 100 minus the percentage. That's 55%. So you do 77 times the 55%, and then you get your answer. So that's how easy it is. All right, so 42.35. I really hope that I made that easy for you. I mean, I'm trying to, make it easy. When it's reduced, it goes down, right? So you subtract from 100. If it's increased, then you add it to 100. And then so it'd be like 145%. All right. Round your answer, blah, blah, blah. What's the sales tax? Okay, so now this one's finally asking for, all right, the sales tax is 8.5%. Find the total cost of the bike. Now this one is where I would just go ahead and say, well, 8.5% added to 100%, which is 8.5 plus 100. Now that's a percentage, by the way. So what I do is take the 709.98, the amount of the bicycle, times the 108.5%. That's how I would do it. And then that's my answer, is $770.33. And now double checking. Yep. All right. That's how easy it is. It's like really gave you great strategies. And if you're not comfortable with that, you would have to do a double multiply. You'd have to multiply it by the percentage and then add that back to the cost of the bike, which is a double thing. You don't have to do it that way. And when you get good at this, it's as simple as this: taking your calculator, doing 536.98 times the 106.75. All right, so notice how I had to put in the 0.75 and then hit shift the percent sign. Now, if you don't have a percent sign on your calculator, then just move your decimal point over 2 times to the left, meaning 1.0675. But I have a calculator that does the percent sign, so I have that, and then there's my answer. I don't have to do anything else. So it's the calculator's doing all the work for me. So it's 573.23. All right. All right, now you can do this one, all right? I'll let you have that one. I've done a couple of examples for you. This one's the same idea, if you desire to do it, all right? But you'll have examples of your own. I'm giving you the best possible scenario of how to go about doing it. So how much total interest will Rachel have to pay? All right, so this is, says Rochelle, I think it's how you say it, but wants to buy a new house but needs money for the down payment. Her parents agreed to lend her money at an interest rate of 4% charged by simple interest. They lend her $4,000 for 5 years. She will make no payments except the one at the end. How much total interest? So you're going to do 4% times 4,000 times 5. All right. And then you go ahead and add that back to the 4,000, and that gives you the total payment. All right, including the interest. And look at it, it does list the financial formulas, by the way. I mean, here are your formulas. Okay. And they give you some really good ones in here. The ones you talk about in here, but in 2107. 2107 is when you're going to hit every one of these again, by the way. Man, pretty good stuff here. You won't need half of those. All you need is the ones I gave you. If you want me to go over these, let me know. I mean, raise your hand. I mean, I've already gone over a lot of different things with simple interest. I've shown you a couple of examples. But if you want me to go over it, I'll go over it. Just raise your hand. Hope I didn't put you guys to sleep today. Oh my goodness, you guys have been very quiet. So I hope that you guys you liked my conversation, because I'm done today. All right. Are there any questions?
I had an issue yesterday when I went to put in answers and it said it was wrong, and then when I went to recheck it, and it gave me the wrong, like it gave me the same answer that I had.
That happens sometimes. Just flag me to tell me which ones they are, unless they're under your objectives. I can't do too much about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's an unfortunate event. It's an error, right? It's not like you're getting it wrong. It's just you might. That's why at the end of the semester, I always give students back some points. Overall, I support students because there's always technical problems. So
Right.
I would be concerned that do you understand it? And then if you do, then you're good for a test.
Yeah, it was just like I put an answer in and it said wrong. I did it again, and then it gave me the same answer that I already had.
I've had that happen with students before, and it's the Alex program. It's not you.
Yeah.
So I just ask students patience and understanding that's not happening regularly. It's just happening sometimes, and I do give you back some points because of that reason. I don't want you to be hurt by something that's happening internally.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, I take care of you. So that's not something uncommon. I'm aware of it. So thank you for letting me know. I'm sorry you're dealing with it, but you'll get through. All right, good comments, McKinley. I like that. Anything else? Hey, I just want to know, I mean, are you guys enjoying this way of learning? I mean, there's only 4 of you, unfortunately. There's a total of 7 people who are in this class, but 2 of them haven't been showing up or something like that. I mean, there's a couple of people who haven't shown up. But I just wanted to let you know that, this is a pretty solid program. I mean, I can't imagine teaching you anything better in class. I mean, other than the fact that you're not in a brick and mortar. Perhaps maybe you're tempted to maybe get distracted at home, but for the most part, you should find this pretty good. And also, it's being recorded and shared with you at the end of the class. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and stop the recording. Guys,